The Francis Scott Key Bridge is interesting in that, like a lot of infrastructure, we take it for granted. We just sort of always think it's going to be there. It was a defining piece of the interstate system in Maryland in that it finishes 695. And it was the last piece that had to be put together in that puzzle to make that loop work.
The Key Bridge, to me, right, when they were building it, we used to go up there when there was mounds and mounds and mounds of dirt, and some guys who hit golf balls and all that kind of thing, right?
My father was an iron worker with Local 16 for over 30 plus years. He was very proud of the work that he did. He did a lot of the welding, a lot of the on the larger, very high. He would be the one that goes up really super high. This work is very hard and dangerous. Daddy would be in the coldest of colds and the hottest of days and nights.
So when the bridge was being built, I worked at Bethlehem Steel when I was a union official, right? So I knew the day that they were gonna christen the bridge. So I bring my binoculars and I sit on the job and I'm watching them drive across the toll bridge and things of that nature, right? But also, some of our co-workers that lived on the eastern shore had to come across the bridge. Well, they came across the bridge eventually, but they had to go through the harbor tunnel. So it's a component, and we never knew how much it meant until it got here.
It's a big part of the infrastructure story of Maryland, of sort of knitting the state together in the 20th century. Completed in the 1970s, it was one of the longest spans put together in an interstate system.
Growing up in Turner Station, transportation was a huge part of our survival. At least for me, it was a way for my family to seek better opportunities. After all, it's a historically Black community. Many of the people that live in that community worked at Sparrows Point or at some of the car processing plants or any of the other manufacturing plants that used to dot along the port community.
Easy commute. Why don't you move? Well, why should I? I have a bridge, 2 tunnels, and a highway. I can be anywhere up and down the East Coast in a matter of hours.
My community literally being an eye shot of the bridge. If you needed to go to the motor vehicles in Glen Burnie, you're 15 minutes away.
The bridge was very important to the broader trucking industry. It served as a backbone of freight transport in the region and was a very important alternative to the tunnels, particularly for overweight or hazardous cargoes. So it was critically important to the trucking industry in the region.
The first time I saw it up close was when my family was moving back to Maryland from New York, and we were in a red Honda Civic, and I'd fallen asleep for much of the ride, and when we crossed over the bridge was really when it helped to awaken, knowing that it wasn't just crossing over a bridge, but it was a connection to a new world and a new life for our family. And that meant connecting people to communities and opportunities and a life that they hope for. So I think it really stood as a very symbolic place for me and my family.
I just want people to not forget about this community and how we are really connected to the bridge, and it was our lifeline. It was just something that's always been there.
I think people that are maybe removed from it, that didn't travel over it, didn't fish under, didn't boat around it, didn't live near it, didn't see it on a daily basis, would think that, hey, it's just a bridge. Why are people so emotionally attached to it now that it's gone? But I think when you see something that frames your city, that you've seen for 40 years, and then it's tragically gone, obviously not to mention the lives lost, I think to a lot of people it's more than a bridge.